Yo, GameBro here, and this is Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega Master System version. Going through what one would think is the final zone, but isn't. There's one more level after this, but yes, gets extra life before it falls off the conveyor belt. Yes, we're going through Scrap Brain Zone. Not as difficult as the Genesis version. I say that I'm getting hit, but it's really not. If there's one point you're gonna get stuck in this game, it's probably the jungle boss. That had me stuck there for the longest time, and while it's challenging, it really shouldn't have me really shouldn't have stopped me from trying. But anywho, watch out for electricity, watch out for flames. Boing! There are some switches that'll let you pass. And roll. Always fun. Yeah, that was pretty short. It's like a level from Sonic Chaos, where most of the levels you can beat in under a minute easy. It's a shame that the game's ridiculously short as it is, because it has some of the best Game Gear music ever, I must say. Will I be outpaying any of the other Game Gear Sonic games? For the sake of variety? Probably not. I mean, I'm not sure if variety is really a good idea, to be fair. I mean, of course, it's nice to have some variety, but not really focusing on franchise more. Whereas, like, if one viewer is watching for your platformers or your first-person shooters or puzzle games, whatever, they're not interested in anything else you have, then you may end up losing that subscriber for too long. I mean, I'm probably over-exaggerating, and I would still like to keep on with this variety thing, but I probably should, I mean, this is like the 5th Sonic game I've done thus far. So I do have a little bit of focus. Anyway, talking more about the level. In here, should have rolled down, defeat those hogs. I forgot what they're called. Of course I did. I tend to forget enemy names. You go through that, but you have to go through it again, hit that switch, so when you'll come back, you'll be able to head to the left, and the exit will be soon. In this one, there is a Chaos Emerald. What you need to do, you need to fall down here, and to the right we go. One would think that would lead to death, but nope, what do you know? It is right there. The last two are definitely well hidden. Difficulty's balanced enough. It's like I try to duck or roll under him, but it's probably best to just jump. Dude, I'm backtracking. And since I already hit that switch... Okay. Yep, I guess I need to keep heading left. Later, Caterkiller. Which would normally belong in the marbles. Actually, weren't. I don't remember if they were in Scrap Brain Zone 2, but most enemies don't show up in the past Sonic. In a lot of early Sonic games, most enemies don't show up more than one level. But anyways, do not fall down there. You miss the opportunity. Anyway, so need to go down a little further. And of course, enemies respawn. This is an early 90s game. Jump! Not a hard jump, but just be wary of that. They don't fall down, have to go back up and redo all that. No. Yeah. It might get a little confusing, but definitely not as confusing of what is to come in the third act. This is a level that's, that'll probably take me the longest overall. Did I do any act take any longer to finish any act prior to this? Okay. Even though it's normally not the case, there are actually rings this time for the final boss. So basically, kind of need to go through this maze. Some of those will open, some of those, of course, will not. While at, should I bother trying to get that extra life? I mean, it's right there. I don't necessarily need it. Boing. Oops, not this way. Dead end. Up to the other side. Jump. Whee! My favorite Sonic game for the Game Gear would probably be either Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble, or Sonic Triple Trouble, or Sonic and Tails 2, what's called in Japan, or Tails Adventure. So probably two of the best sports on the Game Gear. Sonic Chaos might be tied with him had the levels been a lot longer than they were. Do I need to open? Yes, it does. Boing! How shall we battle Eggman this time? Actually, in truth, we don't. We just chase him a bit. For some reason, he's able to run as fast as us. Tied to the fastest thing alive when it comes to speed and have an IQ of 300. I envy him. But in all seriousness, time for the final level. The Sky Base. Pretty unlike every other level in the Sonic games I have played. Which are for cannons, and of course the electricity. They always go off after like 3-4 seconds. So you can see the pattern. You just have to not run like a maniac. No. Careful. No. Go for it. Which is better safe than sorry, you know. 4 shots from the cannon and it's safe to go. I forgot what those enemies are called, of course. Damn, I hate them. Oh, can't so easily pick up rings like you could in most other Sonic games. Did I even hit it? Thankfully there are 3 rings, but still. It is moving ever so slowly. Can't seem to jump over it. There. No. Again, pretty unlike everything else from a Sonic game. Let's go for a slow ride. Jump when necessary. Okay. If I lose my lives as of now, I deserve to get slapped. We are getting close to the end of this game. More sky baseness, of course. You know, 3x. So, what you need to do for the Chaos Emerald. Yeah, right on these things. This is like probably the hardest Chaos Emerald to find. To jump off to it, and if this was a Game Gear version, I'm not sure if like you'd be able to see it like I was, but if you can't, then it must be even harder to find in the Game Gear version. Again, some of these emeralds you gotta search for. It's kind of sad that I didn't go through the special stage more than twice, I think. But I mean, you don't really need to. If only third acts count going through special stages, because I did not, even though I had over 50 rings during Scrap Brain. It's just a lot of waiting. Did this take inspiration from like the airship levels from Super Mario Bros. 3? I mean, there's no side scrolling. Probably not. Anyways, level complete. I skipped through a whole bunch of difficult parts where they're like cannons going 45 degrees and after like every few seconds and shoot all around. Kind of wish I would have showed that too, but I couldn't really do that. So here are the final boss. It's a little different in the Game Gear version. Instead of avoiding electricity and lasers, you're avoiding flames and lasers. Popping up from like barrels or whatever. This one's a little harder. Still not super hard if you're patient enough. Okay, I'm after like taking half the amount of hits required. Gonna wait for that. Yeah, the pattern's always like that, so you can pass by it easily enough. But still be cautious. No rings at all. Not so much in the later Game Gear games, where you actually do get rings. Very good, first try. And with a lot of lives to spare. I wasn't able to do anything, I was just forced to watch that short cutscene. And we're back in the infamous zone. Takes care of that, Egghead. For now. Of course, being the first Sonic game, there are only 6 emeralds. It's a new Super Sonic and whatnot. Though I may have stated it before. I'm slowly getting more points. Because I was really paying that much attention to points. Especially in games that don't save them. 7 Sonics, 7 Sonics, 7 Sonics. Kind of a tongue twister. Kind of an easy tongue twister. And here's But that's like pretty much the only difference. That Chaos Emerald cutscene. Now onto the credits, which I would instantly go through had I not collected them all. So yes, this has been Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Master System. It is a pretty fun game. It doesn't hold a candle to the Genesis version, for sure. Although it still holds up decently well. Definitely more so than most of the other Sonic Game Gear games. The other Sonic Game Gear games I've not listed are pretty much mediocre. Tail Sky Patrol is pretty fun, but it's a really short game. This game also does a good job with 8-bit renditions of the classic music. Yeah, it's fun. It's not amazing, but it's a fun game to play through. I don't know really what else to say. I mean, it's an 8-bit game. Not really much else to bring up. Just Sonic doing some karaoke or whatever. Some short credits. Yes, I guess that is it. Nothing else to bring up, so I'm gonna wrap it up. This is GameBro. See you all in the next Let's Play.